lot of times, as we continue in our own personal journeys as improvisers and as guitar players, a lot of times we want to learn how to break out of the box. Now, the box we typically are talking about is the pentatonic box, in this case, minor pentatonic. That's probably the most common one, although that could be the major pentatonic box. Could also mean major and minor scales or even modal scales, something maybe like a Dorian. Now, the issue with breaking out of the box is we're typically just learning more boxes, right? So maybe we're not playing a minor pentatonic here. Maybe we're playing a minor pentatonic here. And that's not necessarily breaking out of the box, that's just moving the box, right? We just move the box from over here and we put it over here. I think there's another method to really learn and understand complete fretboard freedom while also staying within a box and really exploring all of the opportunities within one box. And that is what we are going to look at in today's lesson. What's up, friend? Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is Matthew Dale. I am here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more. And in today's lesson, we are going to be taking a look at staying within the box or within a particular box and highlighting chord tones to really get the most out of one position. We're going to be staying in one guitar position. I've got a 12-bar blues backing track over here. We're going to be staying in one position and really exploring all of the opportunities for really these three chords, the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord in our typical 12-bar blues, making sure that we're getting all of those lovely chord tones highlighted throughout this one position. Now, if you do want to understand a little bit more about what the 1 chord or the 4 chord or what a dominant 7 chord is, or even what a minor pentatonic or a major pentatonic or even a blues scale is, you should check out my Essential Music Theory cheat sheet. It is available at matthewdale.com/theory. This is an incredibly helpful guide. I use it all the time in my private lessons. I've got basically everything you need to know and understand about music theory in just a couple of pages in this one very free, very helpful document. Again, you can go over to matthewdale.com/theory and download this for yourself. So let's go ahead and head over. Now, once again, we're going to be staying within the box here, and I'm going to be really kind of highlighting the venerable A minor pentatonic. However, I'm not really going to be utilizing a lot of minor pentatonic notes. I mean, some of them, yes. But really, my concern is going to be with the chords more than anything, and highlighting chord tones to really get our solo to sound a little bit more pointed, a little bit more specific, a little bit more, we're going to have a little bit more conviction. Conviction is a word that I use all the time in my lessons when I try to get players or my students to sound a little less random and chaotic. You know, something kind of like that, although that might be kind of a cool trick. But playing something like that is very specific. I'm highlighting very specific notes. And I'm also not really thinking about any one particular chord shape. See, this conversation, when we talk about breaking out of the box, we think we want to explore everything here. And sometimes we do, and that's fine, and that's good. But really what we are asking of ourselves, or the thing that we really want to learn, is how do I have more musical freedom? You feel limited by the position, but what you're actually limited by is you are relying on a shape, on some sort of fretboard geometry to express yourself, and it's not working. A lot of times we think that, well, if I move from here to here, I will all of a sudden be more free in my note selections. But really, if we can take a look at one position, highlight chord tones, make music happen on the guitar, it is going to make us a much better player. So 12-bar blues, what do we got in a 12-bar blues in the key of A? We got an A7, okay? Then we got a D7 for a measure. That's going to be a quick change, just so we're all keeping pace with that. That's going to be a quick change. A7, D7, A7 for 2 measures. Back to D7. D sharp, diminished 7, back to A7. E7, D7, A7. And then ending on E7, our turnaround to bring us back to our first measure. Now, I've went ahead and I just included this D sharp diminished 7. And really, for this sake of this video, we're just going to be treating that like our 4 chord or D7, but that's a very common chord change that we hear in our blues progressions, so I went ahead and I added it. Now, the first thing that we want to do to really kind of master this, to go from an area of I'm only playing A minor pentatonic and relying on A minor pentatonic. There's actually nothing wrong with A minor pentatonic, by the way. It's relying on the shape of A minor pentatonic to express ourselves musically rather than focusing and having, again, conviction for notes that are going to make our melodies and our solos pop. So let's actually hone in and actually reduce the number of notes that we're playing. Pentatonic is 5 notes. Let's just try to play 4 notes and play an A dominant 7 arpeggio. Kind of skip the 7 on the way down, but you kind of get the idea. Now, from here, we actually see that there's some notes that are shared with A minor pentatonic, and there's other notes that are not shared. So A is shared with A minor pentatonic. Hopefully we're all there. But our C sharp, our major third, a chord tone, a note that is very specific to this chord, is not in A minor pentatonic. Our 5th E is, and our minor 7th G is as well. Now, the C sharp is really the big thing. Now, thirds, just so we're all kind of, again, keeping score here, thirds are very melodic notes. If you want to play something and sound melodic, find thirds of the chords. Even if we just play a root note and a third, things sound very melodic. So thirds are good. We like thirds. So if I'm thinking about honing in on our A chord over those measures of A, I'm going to want to find that C sharp. Now, something that's really common to do in blues is to scoop our minor pentatonic C note, the minor third, into the C sharp, the major third. We can even kind of do that in octaves. So, there's kind of a thing that you could play too. That's like the same lick in 2 octaves. I'm moving out of my position slightly here, but I think this is kind of worth noting. So that little lick is 4-1 flat 3-3 1-7 5 sharp 5 or blue note or flat 5. Sorry, sharp 4 flat 5 down to 4 and then all the way down to 3. Once again, 4-1 flat 3 to 3 1-7 5 flat 5 4 down to 3. That's kind of a nice big lick that you can add on top of that A7 chord. We can do that on other chords too. We can do that on D7 and E7. Now, that's going to be kind of what I want to hone in on. Technically, we're already breaking outside of the box, meaning we're breaking outside of that shape, that scale shape, by scooping up into our major third. What about for our D7? Let's look for something in our box here that would highlight our D7. So, here is a D7 arpeggio in this position. We have our D, F sharp, A, C. Now we have a C note. Okay, keep that in mind. Back to D, F sharp, A, and C. There's 2 octaves of that. Again, we have some notes shared with our parent, minor pentatonic, and others that are not. D technically is. Yep. F sharp is not. We have a G in A minor pentatonic. Now we have F sharp. A is, C is, D, F sharp, A, and then C again. Let's look at our other chord again. We're going to skip over our sharp 4 diminished. Our E7. Let's look for an E7 arpeggio that is within this position. Here's kind of a full position of this. So we have E, G sharp. That's our third. That's an important note as well. And then B, D, E, G sharp, B, D, if we wanted to go up to there, but we're kind of getting out of position. One more time, one more time, E, G sharp, B, D, E, G sharp, and B. And we can kind of work in both directions as well, going down from E, D, B, G sharp, and then B, D, E. So, what happens if I try to focus my playing around all of those notes instead of just playing all of these? Let's go ahead and fire up this track, and I will do my best to kind of explain what I'm doing as I'm playing. We'll just see how it goes. So let me give myself I'm just going to jump right in. I was going to do a count off, but I don't have a click track programmed in my little backing track here. So we're just going to come in on our A chord. There's F sharp of D. Highlighting F sharp again. Back to A. Now here's E. Back to A. D. Highlighting F sharp. Back to A. Okay, let me stop that right there. So, I play this on our turnaround. Something akin to that. I don't remember exactly, but what exactly am I doing there? So, over the A7, I play that. That's kind of borrowing a little bit of minor pentatonic language. A little bit of blues scale too, because I'm using the flat 5. Resolving C to C sharp, our minor third to our major third. And then when we get to our E7, I'm scooping the G to the G sharp. And then E. And you can hear how that chord tone, if I just play that without actually playing any chords behind it, you can almost hear how that harmony is going. How you can kind of hear within those licks that the harmony is moving. The one of the issues, I don't really want to say issues so much, it's not really an issue, but one of the things that you'll run into if you are just kind of focusing your soloing in a general sense, this is what we call generalizing. We're generalizing a chord progression. If I look at A blues and I say, okay, A minor pentatonic is going to be everything that I play for all of it. It's called generalizing. If I generalize this chord progression in my soloing, it just kind of sounds like a bunch of A. Now, if I do this again, I'm going to do this without the track, but if I highlight specifically the thirds of these chords, I'm not generalizing, I'm being more specific, I'm highlighting chord tones within this, you can hear the harmony a lot more. So, again, I'm going to do this without the track. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Something kind of akin to that, right? So specifically, I went, if I kind of remember what I did, that's kind of going up a 6 chord. So there you can kind of hear da-da-da. There's our third of our D, back to our third of our A. I don't remember how I got there, but I did this chromatic walk down to the F sharp of our D chord. Again, you can hear that third on our A. And then now, I kind of actually borrowed a little bit of E major pentatonic. And again, I'm bending up to that G sharp out of our E7 chord. And again, you can hear that G sharp for our E chord. So a little bit in summary here, rather than thinking that you need more shapes of one scale, look for, at first, more notes within chords, you know, like we were highlighting here with our various arpeggios. Or even more scales. You know, if I actually kind of went in and I did, like I said, I did E major pentatonic over the E7 chord. If I did the same thing on D, there's another little line that you could play where I played A7 to that major pentatonic E again. You could look for other scales in that manner. But that's all staying within this area. And this is a fantastic way to really work on your playing all over the fretboard. This is one specific area. If you get really good at this one area, move to a different area. Move up here. And you can probably hear how that harmony moves in that area as well. So this would be like position 4 of the major pentatonic, which I don't really like the numbers because there's nothing musical about position 4 of the pentatonic. It's just A major pentatonic, just how you're playing it on the guitar. And then there's a convenient D7. It's the same as the A7 that we played down here. And then back to A. A7. E major pentatonic for our 5 chord again. And again, you can hear how that harmony moves from chord to chord. If you do this all over the neck and really just kind of focus on different areas for its own segment of practice, you can really start to work your way around the fretboard really, really, really well. My method, if you really want to break out of the box, is twofold. One, single string scales. So just playing our scales, it could be a major pentatonic on just the E string. And knowing how to play that just up and down 1 string at a time, and then maybe 2 strings at a time. And then my other method is this. So pick one position, but don't move from that position, and try to play something that is musically gratifying within that one position. So I hope that you found this lesson both inspiring and enlightening. Hopefully it gives you some more ideas on how to work on improvisation in your own practice time. Drop me a comment in the space below if you found it helpful. Once again, you can download my Essential Music Theory cheat sheet over at matthewdale.com/theory to help you really understand all the great things that music theory has to offer. Once again, my name is Matthew Dale. I am here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more. I'm going to play you out with a little bit of some 12-bar blues. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.